Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
I'm Jason Dross.
He is Jason Duras. We are here. Happy Monday. Things
Actually,
are
happy May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you guys.
I
This is a big holiday in your home, no? You're
mean, every day is May the 4th. It's like when those couples go, you know what? I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because every day is Valentine's Day. I'm
just
like,
gonna
fuck you.
pull this
But
out.
every day is Star Wars Day in this house.
I'm just adjusting my camera. Yes, every day is Star Wars Day in your house. And what a beautiful, lovely day to celebrate, I think.
I mean, I did wake up this morning to at a ridiculous hour
Why? Because he was so excited.
because
It
my
was
son was like, no, because it's an everyday thing. But this morning was different because yesterday we watched episode 2. So now today was he woke me up and was like, Obi-Wan, it's me, Anakin. We have to go get Count Dooku. And then he just started electrocuting himself.
for me,
That's
there's nothing like waking up and knowing you got to electrocute yourself.
that went on. We played the whole plot out twice.
Oh wow.
It was insane.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is
So every day is a Star Wars day.
I'm just checking. I just wanted to make sure that we are not like choppy, but maybe we are, and this is just what this Monday is. Do you realize, Jay, what this week is?
Is week 8? Is it week
Seven.
7?
It's week 7.
And is there more to it than that? The way you said that, it was like more than even that.
No, no, no. It's week 7. We've been
I
doing
felt like a
this.
husband being like, "Do you know what today is?" Yeah,
No, it's
garbage
nothing.
day.
No, I'm not like expecting a gift by any means, but no, it is. It's week 7. We've been doing this for 7 weeks. Doesn't that seem
Yeah,
crazy? I've come full Diane Keaton. Oh, Laura just said, "Hey, happy Monday, cool show." I'm taking it.
yes.
I'm
Hi,
taking that as
Laura.
I'm taking that as a win. Hello, Laura.
Yeah, there's a lot of happy Mondays in our thing today.
Is there? That's
Um,
great. That's really nice. It's nice to you know what? It is nice to have something to look forward to because I truly all weekend was just floating among the breeze and
it's like this is the first time for me in like a lifetime that I have weekends and weekdays.
you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, Jason. Me too. And can I say something to you? I
Yeah.
like it. I like
It's
it.
like, why were people keeping this from us for so long? We thought you're just supposed to float and then like
Yeah,
stress every day about
every day.
everything.
Okay, do you find that when people, your friends and stuff, are complaining or stressing on the weekend, you're like, "It's the weekend, baby. We got all week to do that." I'm just gonna fix my camera, just like, okay, there we go. Um, yeah, I've been really like loving my weekends. Can I tell you what I did this weekend? And I can't be more like Hoda and Kathy about my weekend. I'll take
Yeah.
a sip of my coffee too. I'm lying. It's soda water because I already got up. I got up early and had my coffee. No, I redid my backyard. We had one nice day in Toronto, one nice day, and I was inspired and I cleaned the shit out of my backyard and like bought plants and like hung lights, and I've really made it a party central for me and my dogs.
Life is changing for people because our backyard, we share a backyard, and there's people out there that I've never seen before. And they're just
Yeah.
like, everybody's like basking in the glow. But we also now have a garden,
You
which we
personally
didn't
have a
have
garden
before.
or you have a community garden?
Well, okay, I wouldn't, maybe not the word garden, but we have now 6 different things that Charlie has planted on our deck,
So,
is what I'll say.
what you're saying is your son is a
Yeah.
gardener.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can relate to Charlie because I and we're friends, so I don't mind saying this. I definitely am getting my period. It's like upon me. It's like my body's going, "Hey, girl,
It's
like we're
coming.
about to ruin you," because I was trying to plant coriander and
Okay.
cried because I couldn't fix it in my. I couldn't fit it in my planter, and I cried. I threw a hissy fit like a child, and I cried.
I'm gonna say I don't know if this is bending time or something then because like you brought it up, so I'll bring it up too. But like, it feels like it was only like last week you had a
Had my period?
water bottle on your stomach because like, do you get your period every 5 days? Is that what is this Stacey McGonigal's life?
I think every woman feels like you get your period every 5 days because here's what happens. And thank you, Amanda. She says I could not understand that more. And Audrey says I can't wait to party with Burger and Vic again. And I agree, Audrey. They can't wait either. I hope I'm invited to that party. It literally feels like this. What happens? You get your period. You feel like absolute trash fire. You're emotional. You don't know why. You're irrational. And like the thing about it for me is that you can see how irrational you are. I can see it in front of me. I can be like, what I'm doing right now is bananas. It makes no sense to me, but I've
I
never
think I have my period all the time then.
Yeah, I think you do too. I wouldn't I think out of all my friends, you might be the one that understands the most. But then it's like you're so emotional. Then your period finishes and you feel thinner. Like cuz all the weight you
What?
gain cuz you
I don't have a
gain
period.
you fluctuate about 10 you can fluctuate up to
Never felt
10
thin in my life.
pounds. Huh?
I never felt. I've never had a feeling when you wake up and you go, now I feel thin.
No,
So,
you do.
like,
It's the day, like if you have diarrhea or something, the day after, you're like, oh my God,
or like
restart.
those days that you're hungover and you look in the mirror and you're like, what happened? And then you just realize you just sucked all the water out of your body.
Hell yeah. And you're like, well, okay, this is working. Yeah. So like, so then you, after your period, you feel like thinner. You're like, okay, like all's forgiven. And then all of a sudden, like the second week, you're like, oh, okay, I gotta, you start feeling like a bit puffier again. Then the third week after that, your boobs are bigger than they've ever been. You're like, none of my clothes fit. What's happening to me? And then you get your period again. That's every month.
But you literally did have like a hot water bottle in your stories. It must have only been like a week or two ago.
Oh, because I pulled my back.
You said so. This was because you said it was because of your period. So
You
now I'm
said it
not-
was because you're pregnant. Well, we can just look back
No,
on my
I
Instagram.
never- I would never go. Oh, are you on your period? That
Oh,
never would come
I
up
think
in
if
my mind,
anytime
ever
I
in my
go,
life.
oh, I went on a date with my hot water bottle, I think you should assume that we're in period town. Well, actually, as I'm getting
Yeah.
older, it's just a nice comfort on your back, on your lower back for
You've
sure.
got a classic hot water bottle too, man.
I know, as
I
if.
want one of those. I don't even know if they make those anymore because it's like those ones I think I had it at my grandmother's house.
Oh, I like the classic red. I don't want I
Yeah.
don't want any cover on it. I just want a red wrapped in a towel. I like
It's
it.
not even a red. There's two things that are that color, and it's whoopee cushions and that water bottle, and I think that's it.
Totally. Jan says I have like maybe 4 good days a month before, but like between all the syndromes. And I absolutely get it. Me too. And you know what? I think all
Are
women
those
can.
4 days? Are you dancing the whole time?
Oh
You're just
hell
like,
yeah. I'm gonna have sex with anyone that looks at me. I'm just gonna enjoy life. It's like you're like, it's one of those days where you're like, let's get a blanket and go to the park. You know, like if a park is filled with a bunch of people, it's because they're within that 4-day good range. Yeah.
so like, if you went on a camping, when you go to like summer camp and it's like like say it's an all girls camp, and
Yeah.
everything syncs up. You guys are all there's that one week where it's like everybody loves life, and then the other 3 weeks are like, well, now we got to deal with the drama.
Well, not everyone syncs up. I feel like you sync up with your friend soulmates. You know, there's always like that enemy group where you're like, oh my God. And they seem like they never get their period, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's tough. Women have it tough. I mean, it sucks.
For many reasons, yeah.
For many reasons. Oh my God. Camping with your period? Give me a break.
Yeah.
I'm already on the brink. Like the idea and concept of camping, I'm down for. But like once we get there, it's just all about jobs you have to do. And then throw your period on top of that. Get out of here. Anyways, the backyard looks great. Jason, what did you do?
Did you plan any food?
Okay, so I'm about to plant food, but it's getting cold.
Oh.
So
And you did say coriander already, which I guess.
well, I
food
did a
is
small
nice.
herb
Yes,
garden.
yes.
I did a small herb
That's
garden.
what I want. My number one want is a hot pepper plant, but
Yeah.
I can't find it anywhere. And I
Weird.
can't find the seed for it. I can't find anything.
Well, they were saying there was like some conspiracies going around that a friend told me, and I believe because she said it very confidently, that you know how like toilet paper was the first thing, and then flour was the next thing, like of currency. The third thing is now like seeds. Like everyone's like gonna start planting their own food.
Well, we are. It's like everyone's making their own bread. Everyone's planting seeds. They said I heard the next thing to go is there's going to be a meat shortage, and that's
Great.
because
Get rid of
all the
it.
plants and all that kind of stuff. But like,
Please.
I don't know. Who cares?
Who
That's the real
cares? I'm a
world. I'm
businesswoman
not here for
today.
that.
As long as, credit cards don't go out of fashion, says this 1980s businesswoman. Makes no sense. No, I haven't planned food
You
yet.
need a cell phone to match that.
Oh my
outfit.
God. Wouldn't that be so great? Just a huge cell phone? Excuse
A
me,
Zach
what?
Morris cell phone, yeah.
I got the right to vote. No thanks.
I gotta go to a community gym on a Wednesday. No thanks.
Carbon emissions. What's that? Cocaine for everyone. But it is true. Like now, like doing this show, which is amazing. 7 weeks. That's bananas and wild and crazy to me. We
Yeah.
also hit we're about to hit this week, which is really exciting. A new level in our empire.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to hear about it.
Well, we're about to hit one of the levels of being able to monetize the podcast, which is kind of a cool.
That'd be fun.
That'll be fun. So you have to hit 4,000 listens, which we're about to celebrate this week, which is really exciting. Like that's insane in 7 weeks for us in this little tiny show that could.
Yeah, it's great.
And that
Pat on the backs to us.
pat on the back to everyone who listens and watches, and it makes us wake up and put red lipstick on a Monday.
Big fireworks and confetti to the people that listen to us.
Oh my God. If I wasn't scared of jail, I'd do that. But so we're about to hit 4,000 listens, which is wild. And then the next goal is we have to get 1,000 subscribers. That's what YouTube's telling us. And that's what
setting goals.
We have to set goals. And that's the thing in this quarantine. Yes, we have to be gentle to ourselves. And yes, we have to like take the slow days. But goals needed.
Got it. Yeah. Or else you're just waking up and then you go, I guess I can't wait to go to sleep tonight.
I can't tell you like how much this podcast has like helped me. Truly. Like, and this is the most consistent thing you and I have ever done in our lives.
100%. and we've done some pretty serious process stuff.
We've done some serious stuff. This is the most consistent. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Anyways, we're just patting ourselves on the back. I guess we could just go to hell, really. But anyways, I was just looking at the thing and I was like, I'm going to tell Jay. I also have.
When you said that before about 7 weeks, I have a friend of mine like post daily quarantine life about her daughter. And I only bring it up because today she posted day 51. And I was like, how long are people going to go with this? It's day 51 for her.
Is that wild?
I don't know what the actual day is or whatever. For everybody's a bit different, I'm sure. But we're that far into it now where it's like.
I know.
Day 51. It just feels like this feels end of day-ish where it's like,
yeah,
day 2,762. Woo! I'm not going crazy. I swear.
We're about to hit 2 months.
Yeah.
That is really crazy. It's bananas. Like, I mean, we're not saying anything that's like interesting or true or real in any capacity, but
I think we're starting our 7th week. And I think today's the day we've first really mentioned the actual pandemic that we're in.
Well, because when we started this, we were like, no one wants to like unpack.
We don't want to talk about it.
We don't want to talk about it. We're living it every day. We just, to even get off it for a second.
Oh yeah, killing it.
I have huge news that I'd like to share to the class in the group.
There is so much news today. I love this. I love that Mondays are news days.
Listen, I'm living for the weekend.
If you guys don't think we're getting to the Breakfast Club, we're getting there.
Oh, we're getting there because I mean, I'm not saying I'm not influenced by Molly Ringwald and I think this week's outfits will certainly be inspired by Molly Ringwald. I certainly brought out my 80s classic today.
Right.
With my shirt. And Haley says she's about to experiment with Discord, House Party, or Google Hangouts. Any preferences? So Discord's like a huge thing that people use on like Patreon and stuff like that. That's how I only know it. House Party I hear is so fun. Google Hangouts.
Is House Party like a game, like a Jack in the Box sort of thing, or is that just like,
House Party is like House Party is like Zoom, but with like games.
Right. So like the jackpot. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
House party.
I would say house party.
I'm gonna bank that right now.
Yeah, Haley, I think you'll have fun with house party. I liked it because at Google Hangout at some point it gets awkward and you're like, so you know the weird part in like a massive Zoom party and it gets really quiet. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we haven't talked in 6 years in the real world, but I just thought now's the time to
Yeah.
Google Hangout you.
How are that's your apartment, huh? Okay. Okay, so I have some huge witchy news and then I have some pop culture news, which is massive.
What's witchy news?
Okay, thank you for asking. So my like lovely friend who we had on the podcast back in the day when it was called Regular Girls, who is an empath and like intuitive, is giving me a reading. So she's now expanded her readings to include intuitive tarot reading. And so basically,
You got to work with the market you got.
so she gave yeah, and like she has called things in my life that have absolutely come true. And anyways, she was like, what questions do you want to know? I basically just kind of asked for a general reading, like where am I at? What do I need to focus on? Like what's going on? And so I sent that to her and I should be getting it back either today or tomorrow, a full reading.
You're getting like, this is like doctor's results. It feels like you're waiting on at this point.
I know. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm just like, I'm beaming. Like,
I don't know if you've ever actually waited for doctor's results because you said, yes, exactly. I'm so excited to wait for these doctor's results.
no, but in this case, I'm excited to get these results.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last doctor's results I got, it said I was like a babe with a killer ass and nice hair. So that was, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's like a on TikTok there's this huge joke, like this huge trend where people are like, oh my God, apparently like you have like, or I don't think that's like a corona joke, but it is like, it turns out like because I have like thick hair, a sick ass, and blah, blah, blah. Like it's just so funny. I'm not making any sense. But anyways, I'm getting a full reading and I am going to unpack it on the pod once I get it. I'm so excited.
I still want to go to that doctor's office where it's like a young doctor and he just is trying to clue in. He's like, maybe I'll try this joke out at work. Anyways, open up and say, oh no. Oh no, looks like you got
a beautiful
thick hair and
mouth.
a nice ass. What?
You know, so Jason and I have friends who do like patient, like they help doctors like
Oh, right.
diagnose like patients. So they pretend to be patients. And can you
Yeah,
imagine?
they don't help diagnose. They play like as if they had all the symptoms
Yes.
they're given on a card so they can evaluate and
Yeah.
get real life training.
So like they'll go in and like be given, you know, certain ailments or whatever they have and the doctor will then go through the procedures. But like I always wanted to do it, but in hindsight I'm glad I never got hired because I would have just ran with
But
that.
I do think I might be wrong. I think they also tell you like the personality type to play. So they're like, go in there and give this doctor a hard time.
Oh,
or
yeah.
go in there and tell them that you check out WebMD and you know everything. Like,
Well,
just
this is me as a
throw them
person.
through the ringer.
No problem.
That might be fun.
Oh my God, treating a doctor the same way I treat anyone at Best Buy. It's like, you're not going to rip me off. What? Excuse me, I'd like to talk to the manager immediately. Oh, Jameson, of course, MVP of the chat here. He said he did that for 4 years. He's done everything.
I still want to know what the geek squad is of the medical world.
Oh, the Geek Squad? Oh my God, absolutely. Me too. Who would that be medically? No, we can't do that.
Oh, we're taking some turns today.
Oh, wow. Really took some turns. What did you do this weekend before I get into my major pop culture, like, unpack?
I mean, we do our Star Wars Sunday, but we also did like, it was a busy weekend. But it was all, so nothing like super fun that I can be like, this is what we did. We did get our new pots. So now we've planted a pumpkin and we've planted watermelon, snap peas, rainbow carrots.
You planted watermelons? How
cherry
long does that
tomatoes.
take to harvest?
We got these, it was a nice gift from a friend that sent us this thing that was like, here's something to do on your quarantine. Here's 6 different types of seeds you can plant. So we
cool.
didn't choose them necessarily, but we're growing them. And then one's a sunflower. And that's the first one that goes, I'm here. It comes right out of the ground like,
Cool.
yeah, let's go. But anyways, we've got some some potted plants now. And
Cute.
I don't know why. I'm overly excited about it. Don't know why.
It's a task and it's something to putter with.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
Charlie sings to them at night. He literally goes out there and sings them to bed.
what is he saying?
He makes up the song, but it normally has to be like, have a good night and have a good sleep and grow.
Can we get a taste of, any of the ones that really stand out in your mind?
Well, they're not words, but it is. I think I just did one, but I just sang it the way Jason Deross would. Have a nice night. Sing and grow.
That's okay. First of all, like that's like so adorable and like so precious, and I hold it so dearly in my heart. But like if I was myself, not knowing you guys, living in that communal place, and I just heard what I would describe as a child ghost outside my window going, have a good night. I'd be like, oh God. Like without context, just hearing a soft child singing in the night. What a terrifying sound without context.
Imagine if I had a bunch of kids and they were all doing it together.
Oof.
You looked out your window and you're just like, it's a bunch of kids with bowl cuts because we had to cut their own hair, and they're all like, grow in the garden.
Ew. First of all, grow in the garden is disgusting. And any child singing that, I simply cannot. That's terrifying.
We
Grow.
also just can't do laundry because we have shared laundry and we're afraid to touch things. So they're all just wearing like white t-shirts that we've got that we found a pack of Hanes, and we're like, guys, I'll just put these on and wear them out there.
Oh
So I've
God.
got bowl cuts, long white t-shirts, and they're all just singing. And did I tell you they're all the same age? I'm living this life. We had my wife had 9 kids at once. That's where I'm living now.
You've taken the longest walk, and I'm really glad you're back home. That's so funny.
You know what I didn't watch last night? I didn't watch Last Dance. I haven't seen that yet, so I'm excited. I say that because like,
What?
after we said the kids, Scottie Pippen having like, what was it, 29? Was it Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman had like 29 brothers or something? 20.
Yeah. And I found out
They
because
could put out a podcast and they would just be like, great, now we've already got 29 listeners already set up to go. Good,
oh my
good.
God, how amazing would that be? Yeah, I was always jealous of that when when you start out in comedy, you have like all your friends come. Like all your friends from all walks of life are like, whoa, this is cool. You're like performing and like I can see you on stage. And then
Oh yeah.
then they come like when you're early in your career. They come all the time. And you just feel, first of all, you're at your worst because you've just started comedy. But the crowds are packed, and they're laughing and you think you're great. Then all of a sudden they stop coming.
It's not a novelty anymore.
It's not a novelty.
Oh, yeah, you got another show. Because basically you're doing 8 shows a week at that point.
Right. And so they stop coming completely. And then you forget for a while what a big crowd is like. I can always tell a new comedian and I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, I'm going to live forever. You're like, okay, yeah. Yeah. Wait till this gets old. Yeah. I'll see you on the other side.
Wait till you do your first commercial and then your aunt loves you again.
Yeah. That's all that they care about. I remember my parents came to one improv show while I was taking classes and then never again. And they're like, we've seen them. If we've seen one improv show, we've seen them all. I'm like, actually, that is the most incorrect thing about improv I've ever heard. Every night is different.
I don't know. I kind of agree with them.
It's true. Listen, I'm an improviser, and my nightmare is me having to sit in an audience and someone go, "Can I get a suggestion?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
Someone's going to come out and they're going to be, there was chairs in the last scene and they're going to go to move them out and they're going to be like, oh, is this seat taken? And that's how they're going to start the scene.
Ugh.
Do you think my furniture looks okay over here? Now that I got caught moving a chair.
Oh my God. Have you watched Middleditch and Schwartz?
I haven't, and I've seen.
It's good.
I watched the trailer for it, and I know everyone's like really excited about it. And
I won't.
They're great.
I saw the first one, and it's great. I mean, here's the thing: like as improvisers, I think we can both agree. I can see why people think it's lame. I can see.
Oh yes, I don't. People are like, yeah.
I love it.
I'm already kind of getting nervous about getting into talking about it because I'm like, I hate talking improv. That's why, like,
we're not going to talk improv. We're not. No one cares about that. But I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying for sure.
What I'm saying is that it can be lame. And so I'm telling you that I get it, but it's
I love
funny.
it.
I love it. And I've seen incredible stuff that I still think about almost every day.
Totally.
But it's really good.
Middleditch was in a group called Chuckle Sandwich at one point in his life, and that was one of the groups that I saw that inspired me to do a few of the things that I did. I was like, yeah, this is great.
Wow.
It was him and like TJ Miller and
That's incredible.
Those two other guys.
That was like when I saw you and I said, I'm going to learn his powers and then I'm going to destroy him.
That's what this podcast is all about. It's a slow destroy.
It's a slow. That would have been a great title. The Slow Destroy.
In 2176.
It's working. It's all coming together.
You know what? We're like halfway. Do we want to talk about Breakfast Club? I mean, that was the movie we watched over the weekend. And I'll tell you this, my weekend was actually busy in a weird way.
Okay,
so
brag.
I had put this on. No, but what I'm saying is,
you put it on the background.
No, not at all. I focused completely. But when I did, it was like I went to bed at about 3:00 last night because I was like, I got to get this movie in.
Okay, so your notes are going to be, we're going to get some walks today. Let's start unpacking.
No, we're not, because I'm following for this. I'm not doing this dumb thing. I've stopped taking notes.
That's great. We're just going to generally talk about it, and then maybe if you have some dumb stories, we'll cover that. Before we get into the movie, can I just do a quick pop culture update?
Oh yeah, that's right. You said you had one.
Okay, so for those who asked about Kristen Cavallari and her ex-husband, Jay Cutler, okay? I put this on our Instagram this weekend. Okay. So huge news. If you don't follow us on Instagram, what are you doing? At the Regulars podcast. That is our name. Follow us. Anyways, so this is what happened. Allegedly. Okay. Kristen Cavallari, Jay Cutler break up. Now on the show, she stopped being friends with her best friend, Kelly, because there was rumors that Jay and Kelly had an affair. And then Kristen was mad that Kelly didn't like come to her defense and like still publicly was talking to Jay. Or it's kind of murky, but it was like she didn't, we
talked about this a bit last week. This is a girl that is, she was like, I don't think she's my friend anyways because she's only friends when the cameras are on.
Sure. Yeah. So it was like that whole game of like, she wants to be famous and she's using me and she didn't have my back. And when this rumor came in, she didn't like blah, 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 blah. Okay. So Kelly, best friend, posted on her Instagram a photo of like, I'm going to pull it up because I have it on my phone. I want to get this right.
I know the one I saw.
Okay.
But like, who wears friendship bracelets is what I'm saying. But
especially what do you mean?
Grown people.
I see what you're saying. I might have deleted this. So she said, I'm sure it's still up, like something like, "Oh, a cocktail is needed today" or something. And she was sitting with Jay Cutler
during these quarantine times, which means is she quarantining with him?
I think, okay, is it still up? It's still up. Much needed happy hour. Happy Friday, y'all. And it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their bracelets on.
Oh, they're both wearing friendship bracelets. And so I didn't even notice that part. So, guys, y'all.
We're just friends. Just check it out. We're just friends.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Everyone's saying, Leslie goes, I refuse to accept that. And I think it's so weird. Now, here's a couple of things. Devil's advocate, they could not have, maybe they didn't cheat on each other. Maybe these were just allegations. There was already troubles in the water with Kristen. They were already headed for divorce anyways. And then they're friends because now the divorce has become contentious and Kelly and Kristen had a falling out. And who knows? So maybe they are just friends and they're like, whatever, we are the most two hated people within this circumstance. So let's just bond together. Sure. But I highly doubt it.
Is that their defense or is that you've put that on them?
I'm saying, listen, I'm not one to be like, I'm going to play devil advocate. But I'm just saying, let's just, for the sake of this podcast, let's say that's a possibility.
Did you see the Spanish newscaster that, so people are broadcasting from home. So there's this famous, I said Spanish. But
does this have anything to do with what I'm talking about?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And maybe I have the country wrong.
Let's
But
get
it
to
was
it.
we'll just call it's a Spanish one because I can't remember if it was Brazil or Spanish. I can't remember.
Okay.
Anyway, he's doing his broadcast from a house, and I guess he's not living with his family. And he had a like a half naked mistress walking out in the background. He got busted for like they're like, oh, she walked out nude, went back. They're like, you're busted. It was like that CNN clip when the kids run in and the mother comes in and grabs them, except it's like a mistress walks in. And I only saw stills of it. I didn't watch the video.
Whoa, yipey full
But it
diaper.
does look like it does look like she doesn't care. She's just like, I'm just gonna get coffee, whatever.
Oh yeah. Wow. That's a
Yeah.
wowie. Yeah, this is crazy. My assumption is like either this is like we're together and this is messed up and we just have to embrace it and start moving on. I don't know, Jay. What do you think?
If this is just a new reality,
Like, do you think they're actually together? Or do you think it was just
Yes.
like or is it like, listen,
I think
we're
this woman
friends,
wanted
we're
her life.
bonded.
If he said, "Oh, we're only friends during this time," she was like, I maybe this girl just was like, it's one of those things. It's like I love everything about this, and this is the life she wants. So now she's gonna play off the friend thing for a bit, but
But I'm saying, do you think
He's
they had an
dating like
affair? Allegedly. Do you think that they had an affair and now they're like, well, we might as well double down?
maybe. And when I say maybe, I mean
Let me also know in the chat. What do
I
people
believe
think?
that could be true, but it's like there's these scenarios that happen where it's like, oh, maybe you're with somebody, and then you're like, then these scenarios happen. You're like, oh man, but then you have that connection with that other person.
Yeah.
It makes me think of this base. Do you know the baseball story about?
Oh,
Because it's pretty
God.
famous, but it's like, it was back in like the 80s or the 70s.
Okay, go ahead. Go. Before I cut you off.
You'll
Go ahead.
see that this matches up completely.
Okay.
But it's these two dudes that were just like fully married, and then they became like publicly swingers, but only with each other. So whatever that is, it's like they became like a foursome or whatever. But then they were then it was like, no, we actually love the person. We all love the person that's not our actual spouse. So they broke up, and then they each married their opposite wives. One of the couples lasted, one of them did not.
Huh?
And I was like, for sure, it was like these two people thought they were supposed to get together. They got together, and then the other two people were like, us too. Yeah,
Totally.
we're in love too.
Well, because here's the thing. It's like, okay, so I was watching the Kardashians, and there was a huge scandal because Khloe Kardashian's, like the father of her child, was it? No, he cheated on her. That was Tristan. I'm sorry, Kylie Jenner. So, or no, I'm messing this up.
I remember the Tristan Thomas one.
That was
Thompson
it.
one.
Yeah, it was Tristan with.
Well, she was pregnant. He was in a club, and they got busted by the security cameras.
Yeah, but then
I only know this because of basketball.
But then he also kissed Kylie's best friend, right?
What?
Yeah. So then, like,
This
she
guy's
was
Canadian. Did you know that?
sick. Oh, Canada. Okay, so Khloe Kardashian. So, yeah, so they get rid of Jordan, who is like Kylie's best friend or whatever. And on the show, or no, like someone was like recapping it or something, and they were like, this better be like true love. Like, to have that level of deceit, it needs to be like, we are soulmates. We are meant to be together. There's going to be so much fallout, but this love is necessary. If it's not, then this is just a train wreck for train wreck's sake. So what I'm saying is, if this is not a publicity stunt and Jay Cutler and this Kelly whatever,
But publicity for what? Like he doesn't,
exactly.
They don't promote
So
anything.
did they get together and they're like, oh, we are meant to be together, and this is a messed up scenario, and this is going to break up a family, but this is like the truest of loves. Not that it's good, not that it's like not leaving like so much like pain in the trail of it, but like it better be, because this is just like nasty dealings. If this is just like them trying to be nasty.
Today's the day like we're full allegedly.
We are
because
full allegedly
both of us are telling
today.
stories of like I think it was a Spanish or Brazilian reporter, but like something happened.
No, I'm not allegedly. I'm saying, are they together? Are they wearing friendship bracelets? Like they're clearly in the frame. Is it like we're friends to the end?
With the Tristan Thompson story where you're just like, was it Chloe? Did this?
Oh no, this is what
Anyways.
happened. Khloe was with Tristan, and then Tristan made out with Kylie's best friend Jordan. She got caught. It was this huge ordeal. She got ousted. These are like fact. This isn't allegedly. Like all has been admitted. Holly says
I don't know what this
Kristen's
is.
reason and documents filed also point to adultery. So I say they cheated. Yeah, I also heard that because it said like distrust in the marriage, but sometimes that's just like it's like the level above irreconcilable differences. Someone was also saying. Who knows? It's messy regardless.
Some real truth bombs on the chat. The mutual dislike. Yeah, the mutual dislike when people can bring two people together. That's
well.
peak.
Look at Shania Twain. Not to go all full "Oh Canada," but Shania Twain, her husband, cheated on her with this woman, and then Shania ended up marrying that woman's husband.
See, the crisscross.
I met him. Very nice. She
Make you
smelled.
jump.
She smelled amazing. Biggest diamonds in the ears I've ever seen. Loveliest woman I've ever met.
Oh, Shania Twain.
Yeah, she was sick.
My dad loves her. My dad's probably on the chat. This is my dad. This is my dad on a treadmill. Listen to Shania Twain. No problem.
You could okay.
I was about to sing the song and then I couldn't remember the song.
Okay, I saw that in your mind because I was like,
Boots have your boots been under?
Whose boots have your boots been under? It's whose bed have your boots been under?
Oh, I thought it was Boots.
It's whose bed have your
Which
boots
makes
been
no
under?
sense.
Whose boots have your boots been? Wow, it's a pile of shoes. You're singing about a pile of shoes.
No, I'm singing about, you know how like kids dance on the feet of their adults when they dance.
Oh my. So really the song isn't about cheating. It's just like, who's your dad? Who's your dad? What's your dad about? What strong male figure is guiding you through life? Your mom's in the chat. Carol saying, right? Yep. Shania was also my dad's. He always called Shania his girlfriend. That's my girlfriend on the radio. Something about Shania, man, just love. But anyway, she's really, really cool. And I met her for mere minutes, but she was very lovely.
Well, since I busted my dad, I'll bust my mom too. It's Rod Stewart.
Yeah, yeah, that's classic.
That's for Rod Stewart.
Yeah, of course, because I think he was just the small little sex machine in a woman's blouse. And who doesn't hate that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, Jan says Jason's boot song is about trying to find your Blundstones at a party. God, I know that too well. You never feel more basic than when you go to a party and it's like, whose Blundstones were these?
Have you ever got home and been like, these aren't mine?
No. Luckily.
I think I did that with a coat.
A coat? Who's your size that we know?
Nobody. It was massive.
I was like, you only have tall friends.
I was like, well, I guess they have these fucking arms tailored. I didn't realize with this coat.
This is classic Jason, going to a party, putting on a coat that is not his, and then immediately going, I'm shrinking. Oh, add that to the list.
Which brings me to something. Let's get into the Breakfast Club because we are not going to get there at this point.
Yeah, we are. We have like half an hour left.
We have an hour left?
A half an hour.
Okay, great.
We're all over the place. It's a classic Monday. Okay, everyone, let us know how you feel about the Breakfast Club in the chat. Let's get going. What'd you think, Jay?
What made me think about that was one of the things I did with Breakfast Club was look up a few facts about it.
Okay, great. Let's start with those.
Yeah, because the roles that were cast to a couple of these originally were really interesting.
Okay, cool.
And I bring it up because you brought up the short guy, and I instantly thought, do you know who was originally going to play? So John, I'm going to pronounce his last name wrong, but John Capellas was the janitor in this. Originally was cast for Rick Moranis.
Perfect.
And he was cast and he backed out.
What is with Rick? I mean, I know that he backed out of Hollywood to take care of his kids, but like he's flaking out of tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Love Rick Moranis.
So here's So here's some interesting things that about this movie.
Sorry, can I just my dog's licking his wang. Just give me 1 second. Victor, can you stop? Victor? Thank you. Proceed. He was licking his asshole. What am I supposed to say? Yeah. I'm filming. There's a camera.
Judi Dench, stop that.
Judi Dench. Mrs. Judi Dench. Yeah, he actually stopped. He looked right at me. Mrs. Judi. Go on.
So during 16 Candles, John Hughes already asked Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall to be a part of the movie.
Yep.
And Anthony Michael Hall right away was like, hell yeah. Molly Ringwald was kind of holding out. She wanted to play. She didn't want to be Claire. She wanted to be,
Of course.
Ali Sheedy's role
Vic.
in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of course, because she's like,
She
I
was-
want to play the rebel. I want to get bangs.
Yeah, I don't want to be the pretty girl. She didn't want to play that. They wanted her to play Ali Sheedy's role, and she was
Really?
like, I want to play Claire. Yeah.
Whoa.
Which means she was just like, she was thinking about branding before we were thinking about branding. And she's like, no, this is my hit.
No, she was
This is what I'm doing."
probably. Oh wait, sorry, I'm mistaken. Molly Ringwald wanted to play Claire.
the role that she did end up playing.
Oh, but they wanted
That's
her
the
to
role she
play the
wanted.
rebel.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Oh, that's great for her.
I think I said it wrong originally.
Yeah, I
but
think you
yes.
did. That's just easier for me to land on. I don't like making
Yeah,
mistakes.
me too. Me too. I feel safe and comfortable here. I got it right? I don't like this.
I don't like this. He's actually wrong. I'm not the one who's wrong. That's how we like to operate. Excuse me, can I
that's like
speak
a
to your
warm
manager,
bath.
please? This is a Best Buy, right? Service Ontario, same thing. Manager, please.
Can I supersize that with the fries, please?
We'd like fries. I'd like fries with my driver's license because I asked nicely. Yes, my name's Karen. Well, I also think there's something in knowing like what you play well. I don't know if she was like into branding, but she was probably like, I get this woman. Like it'd be
Yeah.
like me, like if I had to play like a goth who's like cool, like what a stretch. Like I'd be like, ugh, do I have the energy? Like,
Yeah.
can I do it? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some of the other cool ones? that were
Jason
really
hated what I just
fun?
said. Yeah, please.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't at all. I'm just like, I was just catching up and being like, oh yes.
Okay, what are the facts?
What's that?
What are your other facts before we get into the movie?
Judd Nelson's role, they were considering Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, that
and
would
they
have been
actually,
sick.
But they actually hired John Cusack to do it.
Oh,
But then
babe.
before it started filming, they were like, he's not intimidating enough. They're like, he's just not that guy.
No, John Cusack's like just a soft man, a soft
Yeah.
boy who's just like, I like records. But Nick Cage
Yeah.
would have been great in
And when-
Moonstruck when he has one hand and he's like, I lost my hand. That could have been him going, looks like a cigar. Did I stutter? He could have done that for sure.
Yeah.
And when they do that running
And
scene,
then
he
the
would have
other-
been like moving his arms, but not running literally at all. Classic Nick Cage. Okay, go on.
Smoke me if you got it. Yeah, no, Nick Cage would be great.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you about the ladies then, because
Okay.
for when they weren't having Molly Ringwald do this, they were considering her for the Ali Sheedy role.
Uh-huh.
They were looking at Robin Wright, Jodie Foster, and Laura Dern.
No.
Which I was like,
None of those
yeah,
make sense
exactly.
to me.
None of those feel good, right?
Jodie Foster being like, I eat sushi. Yeah. Okay, cool, I guess. Jodie Foster, like, I know people like, yeah. Like, I only think, Miss Judy Dench. I wish I could turn the camera around and so you can see the insanity that, can you see Vic in your
Yeah.
I with me? He's being insane. I have to get a dog camera because literally my life like is insane with them. I only think of Jodie Foster in two movies. One is Contact.
Yeah.
The other is Nell.
Yeah. And in both, she's just the blind girl that fills faces, right?
Oh my God, that's terrible. I just like Molly Ringwald so much as Claire because I just relate to her so much where it's so much aggression just backed with just intense anxiety where she's like, okay. Like, it's just that, like, I just relate to that so much.
This whole thing, because I watched a bit, there's also like this documentary about it as well. Because again, I was trying to find it and I found it on Daily Motion, I thought, because I found it again. It's not on Netflix here. I had to pay for this friggin' movie again.
Oh,
on
not me.
Amazon. I know. But in the documentary, there was, oh my God, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Oh no. Oh, they just talked about how John Hughes, like, he's this guy that first nailed real teenagers, because that's what they constantly talk about with all of his movies.
Right.
Like before that, it was like they preach to kids, and then they're like, no, this is the kid's voice because it's coming through. But if you watch it, it's really like there was the Simpson jokes about like teenage angst is just like shooting fish in a barrel, because it's just like, okay, and that's all it feels like it is. They just treat every moment as if it's the most important thing in the world.
It is. It is the most important moment in the world.
In high school, yeah, for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that they all broke down and cried about like every little thing. I was like,
of course they do. The pressure that they have is crazy. So let's get into just talking about the movie, and then if you think of facts, you can throw them in. So I really love the top of it where like the parents like barely speak or anything, but it's just all the first of all, I like this movie because it's just classic tropes. And sometimes, and listen, we're new to weekends. When I love to have a weekend. I just want an easy trope. They're in trouble. Here are the parents. This is the type of parents they have that have created this type of kid. Do you know what I mean? Also,
100%.
So it's like the
and
nerd.
You said throw in facts. Here's a fact.
A fact.
Anthony Michael Hall's real mother and sister or brother, whoever was in that car.
I love young Anthony Michael Hall. Hasn't aged well. Don't think he's a great current person
I
now.
didn't know that I loved him in this movie. I watched this. Every time he spoke, I broke out laughing.
He's so funny. We're like, what a freaking franchise.
Well, I was just saying, I'm in math club and I'm in physics club.
Him smoking a joint, I was like, do I want to have sex with like young Anthony Michael Hall? Yeah, I think I do. Just the Ray-Bans and that little sweater with like a joint. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, he's my crush. Emilio Estevez is so small and trying to be so sexy and athletic, and I simply and utterly cannot.
He made me sweat the entire time, because have you ever been asked to play a role and you're like, no one's gonna buy this? And I'm like, Emilio Estevez as a wrestler, and I'm like, he takes off, he's got a tank top off. I'm like, he's
two things I'd like to say about what you just said. You said wrestler, and that's what we're calling him from now on. He's a wrestler. Yeah. Second of all, I don't think Emilio Estevez at any point thought he couldn't do it. That's my problem with this whole movie.
That's what I mean. But if I get put in these roles, I cannot, because I don't have that bravado or whatever. But
if you had the bravado, you'd be just as successful as Emilio Estevez, current day.
And let that be your lesson.
And let that be your lesson. My favorite is when he goes up, when he's telling his big monologue, and then he goes, you know that kid? And then Anthony Michael Hall is like, yeah, I know him. Like he knows about the kid who got his ass taped together.
Yeah. That was a pretty tough speech though too. Like that was a good moment, high moment.
First of all, it holds up.
This movie, that was my question.
Yes.
I was just about to ask you. There's a few very questionable statements off the top.
Sure.
But other than that, holds up.
Listen, we can't expect a movie in the 80s, which is like so, and it's all about like these just like stereotypical like tropes in a story to hold up to the expectations of 2020. There's just like absolutely no way. Like I threw caution to the wind on that. I was like, of course not all of this is going to hold up. First of all, the principal is fully problematic.
Vice principal.
Oh, vice principal, sorry.
He's a vice principal. He's not even the principal.
Here's what I also love.
It makes it even hilarious that he walks around flexing so much.
This made me laugh so hard, where Judd Nelson is supposed to be so tough, but he on his own goes to detention. You'd think that he just wouldn't go.
Yeah.
He shows up.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, so who are they going to tell? Your parents? Like what?
Your parents don't give a fuck. They're burning you. They don't care about you. Like
a lot of this reminded me of my high school time, because I was like, in class, I remember always thinking, well, how far can I push this?
Well,
because what's the actual consequence on the other side of this?
It did make
which
me
might explain a lot about my high school career.
Well, it did make me laugh when he was like, when he's arguing with the vice principal, and he's like, "You want another one?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, a full Jason DeRoss scene over here. You want another one, Jason? Okay.
They're watching me, of course.
And another week, okay, and another one, yeah.
Consider me DJ Khaled. Another one. Let's go.
I can't. Shayla says, I work for a TV channel that plays a shit ton of old movies, and we get lots of complaints about inappropriate stuff all the time. And the last one was Saturday Night Fever. Oof. John Travolta. I bet you the biggest complaint was like that they found out he was wearing a wig. Biggest complaint for sure. You know what's so funny, unrelated, but when I posted that John Travolta post on my Instagram, At the Stacey McGee. My lovely friend who is a drag queen named Visa Decline, used to be Heroin the drag queen, is now Visa Decline. They messaged me and was like talking about the wigs. I was like, thank you. They were like, yeah, like this is a wig, like the lace front on this is bad. And I was like, we should just get them on just to do another full celebrity wigs. But
I would love that.
but yeah, so I just really love The Breakfast Club. I don't know, like it has montages that I like. It has people coming together. It has unlikely groups, and I did really like the monologues. Like, I mean, there's a lot of comedy in them and like sincerity.
Did you believe the ending? Like, what I'm getting at is this: Bender, that Judd Nelson character was like over the top and like doesn't hold up.
No,
for sure. But there was some stuff that was like brutal to Claire, and so like when she was just like, well, I guess we're together now, I was like, what's that I was like, I don't know if I fully buy it.
I think
it's like, is it supposed to be like, well, it's complicated, she likes the bad boy, she likes that someone's kind of telling her the truth of how it is, and like,
well, here's a couple of things. First of all, he's just being mean to her. He's being mean to her, and she was like, in every high school thing, it's like, oh, he's being honest. It's like, no, he's fully manipulating you. First of all, you do your trick.
They're being that couple that you talked about before, where it was like, we're gonna go to a bar and we're gonna know, well,
they're fighting all night. So yeah, like, they're fighting all night. They're fighting all night.
But they're the ones that get out of high school and actually get married.
Well, I think she wants to get back at her parents, so he's a great excuse for that, as is brought up. But when she's like, I don't care.
36, when she has 2 kids and she's still with them, and being like, maybe this was a bad idea.
When she takes off that huge diamond earring and gives it to him, I was like, oh my God. Be me.
But Ali Sheedy ripping off Emilio Estevez's jacket, I was like, P.S. Ali Sheedy was, I thought, as the emo or like artistic chick, was way more attractive without all the makeup, and like when she comes out of the oven and goes, it's a princess, like they all just like drop like crazy. I was like, she was more attractive before that, when she was a bit more cooler.
Well, listen, you just love a woman in her natural habitat. Guilty. My name's Jason DeRoss. And I just love a woman and whatever makes her comfortable. And that's nice. Well, everyone needs like an evolution. So like, obviously, like, you know, but I did relate to Claire in that I want to give everyone a makeover. If I have like a friend at my house, I'm like, I want to do a makeover on you. I don't think they were saying like, you know. But she also, I think the point of this movie also is like everyone is like hiding. So how are they hiding? So she's like physically hiding. Not that she needs to wear like pink blush and like be a pretty girl to be something, but she's hiding herself through that. Bender's hiding himself through like, I'm a tough guy. The nerd, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying anything you don't know. They say it in the letter.
But like, yeah, which I didn't realize this too. They read the letter off the top of the movie, which I didn't realize, and I was like,
no, that's right at the end.
For a second, I was like, what is the end?
No, they say it at the end too.
Yes, but watch it again. The narration off the top, you don't realize it's the letter, but it starts with an Anthony Michael Hall narration, and it's the letter. He reads the letter to start the movie.
I also love that he didn't really win anything at all. Like, he still had to do the assignment, and like he doesn't get a girl at all. Doesn't get anybody, and he still has to do all the work, and they're like, thanks, like just a cool person going, yeah, cool, yeah, good penmanship, and he's like, sick, thanks.
It's still, there's so much that does hold up in this movie.
Oh my God.
The nerd that's like going to be like, I'm going to kill myself, and anyways they found the gun and everyone goes, oh my God. What kind of gun was it? Like a handgun? It was a flare gun.
It's a flare gun. It's the comedy.
I was trying to pull
the thing in it. It went off from my locker. I honestly was like, the comedy in this is gold. It's like long, like that Emilio Estevez monologue is hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's problematic, sure. But like the long drawn out of like what he did. Like, if you were to read it, you would die laughing.
Most of the stuff and like the dancing that constantly comes, it's all funny as fuck. Like
the dancing, I loved. It made me happy.
Because we have to realize there's no music actually playing the first time he comes out of there. He's like hotboxed some office in the library, and he comes out and he's just like, yeah. This is before Anthony Michael Hall's put on a record, and he just starts playing guitar and jumping around and doing cartwheels, and then he goes back into that room, and I was like, I love that.
Well, listen,
I love
I
everything
mean,
about it.
listen, we've come away from current day movies that are not giving me the montages that I need. I am willing to suspend disbelief to have like a group,
Fun montage.
a fun montage. Do I like them slipping in the hallway and like having a little caper? Yes, I want that from my movies. There's like a fantasy element to it. Also, I would be remiss.
You know the one part I didn't want? I didn't want the three guys in unison because I was like, man, now you're pulling me out. I'm like, you're choreographed. I can't do this.
Oh, shut up.
But at the same time, in my brain was like, this must have been really fun to film.
Yeah, I hope it was. I hope it was fun on set. I mean, the George Clooney in you needs to know about some pranks. Was there some pranks on set?
Yeah.
There were some pranks. Did they put some
hope
real weed?
I don't know about it, but like,
I do want to bring up the lunches because.
yes, I want to talk to you about this too.
Okay, cool. So the Captain Crunch sandwich, like, not the worst.
Over the top.
Over the top.
But also I want to try it.
Me too. But also, here's the thing that like made it actually gross for me is like I don't like my bread being manipulated. Like I don't like soggy bread to the point of like I will throw a fit like a child. I will go full Claire if I have soggy bread. So
Well,
like
what was the soggy stuff that was on it to start? Because she put pixie sticks and Captain Crunch, but what was the original? Was it mayonnaise?
I can't remember. Does anyone in the chat
Because
know?
you can see it. It just looked like it was just a white gloop of stuff. So I don't know if it was a lot of butter or something.
Maybe it was butter because I used to have butter sugar sandwiches.
Okay.
My grandmother, I think my grandmother was just like, I would steal butter and put sugar on top of it. I think she was just like, put some bread or something, make that a meal. But
I actually, maybe this is a great time to get a question from my dad. And my question and answer from him, I mean.
okay.
He used to eat this sandwich. It was peanut butter, a Kraft single slice of cheese, and then raw onions. And I don't know if he was doing it to fuck with me, to be like, these are good, just to see what he could pull off and be like, okay. Because then I ate it. I was like, it's not that bad.
Ew. Okay.
I know. It sounds disgusting, but I was like,
Doesn't sound.
that
I think
bad.
it is. But yeah, let us know. My mom used to give us those two white bread with Kraft singles in the middle, cheese sandwich with mayo. And I remember as a kid going, these are gross. These are disgusting.
mayo's nuts.
I am not a massive
It's
fan.
a grilled cheese without the work, basically.
Yeah, the lazy man's grilled cheese. Like, you'll like it. Put some mayo in there.
Anyways, here's your Thanksgiving dinner. It's frozen.
There's nothing
Just bite it.
grosser in my memory than my brothers making sandwiches. First of all, we went through in our household multiple sandwich makers, which are just like, because my brothers would just ruin them. They would work them too much that they would fall apart. They would disintegrate. But like the mayo, I just remember really. Oh, Carol, we got a verdict from your mom. Your dad still does it
Confirmation.
and loves it.
Oh, yeah, killing it.
Diversity, really.
Of course.
So
And this is what I want to talk about. This
Okay.
is sushi lunch, especially.
because
Because,
it's elaborate
Okay, you said-
beyond measure. What do you want to say?
and you're right, like you said this last week where it was like, she pulled it out of her purse. And I'm like, well, that's gone bad.
It's gone bad.
But what I was going to say is this. I think, was this writing to like, it felt like they were literally taking a dig at it because sushi was just coming into the scene. Like it was just sort of
Oh, it was just coming into the
in-
scene, was it? Okay.
in the 80s. Yeah. All of a sudden it blew up and like,
Wouldn't
I
know. It
remember
was
this,
like
when it was like,
it was a
people first
baby.
kind of like found out what it was.
It was just a little baby. I was a
But what
twinkle
I
in
mean
the
is-
eye.
In North America is what I mean. Like it was
Okay.
like all of a sudden it was pretty new and it became like a fad or whatever. And like, I think it was like the late 80s or something like that.
Okay.
What I'm getting at is I felt like the writing of this was taking a shot at it. Like it wasn't like people didn't know what sushi was in North
I
America.
don't think
as
they're
much.
taking. I don't think they were taking a shot at it at that. I think they were taking.
Well, they
a
were
sh-
like, oh, so it's raw fish, seaweed. And everyone went, okay.
I don't.
And I'm like, oh, they were taking a cut. It looked like they were taking like a shot at sushi.
Jason. Please. You're just such a tender heart for even fucking rice. I can't even deal with it. Did you hear them making fun of the rice?
I don't mean that it was like, oh,
Did
no,
you
oh,
hear,
poor
you guys?
sushi. I mean, like, I feel like it was a mindset that you like, we're just not in anymore because everyone is well aware what sushi is
Yeah,
and
of
everything.
course. But I think
So it's like, we know that the seaweed and raw fish together are delicious, but like when you say it, it almost sounds like peanut butter,
well, here's the thing.
capsicle, and
I think
onions at
it's
this point.
also yes, that can be made an argument. I also think to like elevate it, and I'm sure it's what you're thinking, and this is me just being like, oh, this is where I'm taking it. That like Claire is pretentious. Claire is pretending to be an adult. She's pretending to be sophisticated and elevated. And I think sushi seemed like an elevated thing. If I was described what sushi was back in the day when like I grew up with Audrey and she says, I never saw an avocado until I moved out of my parents' place. Me too. I remember seeing it being like, what is that? And someone was like, it's an avocado. And I'm like, pardon moi. But I think it was Claire's whole thing. It was like so sophisticated. Can we talk about her blouse and her skirt and her boots and her diamond earrings? Yeah. Gorgeous. Wonderful. Not a classic high school student. Like she's like this elevated queen.
Well, especially in Chicago, because I believe back then too, like, this is so dumb because I'm talking about sushi, but like it felt
Oh
like
my
I think
God.
it was more of a West Coast thing, and all of a sudden to have it in Chicago would be like pretty crazy.
And how fresh was everything?
Yeah.
Because when you go, I remember moving when I was in LA, I was like, oh my God, this fish is so good. And then coming back here and I'm like, okay, well, we just need to start accepting it for what it is here.
Yeah. We got some Lake Ontario sushi is what we got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
But I
one
loved
we-
it.
I mean,
Emilio Estevez's chain will forever give me nightmares until we choose another movie. I'll just keep thinking about that just glistening sterling silver chain.
yeah.
Wrestlers. Ugh.
But in all these movies too, they make it very black and white of like who we hate and who we love immediately off the top. Because they make this vice principal the worst, and then they even make him worse because he's like, why is he downstairs sifting through files to be like, oh, this teacher's got mental health issues?
Because he's an evil guy. So he's just trying to get garbage on everybody. I also think what
But
I liked.
these movies are just like paint them that way perfectly. So there's no
Oh,
like
yeah.
gray area. It's like everything this man does during this day will be a terrible piece of garbage.
Well, I also think it's like really great for like, I think the reason I related to it as well is like, that's how you, obviously it's like a trope of like the principals are brutal and they stink.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's everyone's perception of them. But I also think it shows that like, they're not like, it's interesting to show that he is in fact not a good person. So it is like this thing to teens of like, you know, like they're not like the heroes.
I had already learned the fact about Rick Moranis before I watched the movie. So then when I was watching it, I was trying to picture him like,
it would have been a
like,
completely different movie.
you're down here, maybe give me $50. I'm like, I don't see Rick Moranis hustling out of $50, but I don't know what it would be, but that scene would be.
Hey, you want to
fucking
give me like
hilarious.
$50? If you give me like $50, I'll do something. Is that a good Rick Moranis? Hey,
Yeah. And it's like, $50, and I don't know, maybe come to my party. I don't have a party this weekend.
Hey, you
so
want to be cool? Or you can come to, I'm just having some people over.
Gonna get some sushi.
Yeah, we're gonna get some sushi. We're gonna have that. And on the 7th week, they got canceled by their own hand. Oh yeah, that's our Rick Moranis. Who did you relate to the most in the movie? It's a toss-up.
I don't know, because
It's a
You know
toss-up.
what? Here's the thing.
You see yourself in
the
every
note
of
is
them.
true.
You see yourself in every
The
single
note
one
is
of them.
true
I know.
because there's the Ali Sheedy in me.
Yeah.
There's the
What makes you the goth?
the only one that I don't see in me is probably
teacher, and you're like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
a rebel.
that's true.
You know when you meet Jason and you're like, he's a rebel. No, you
But that
are.
was more for the laugh. I don't think he does it for the laugh. I think he does it to like egg them on and push buttons, which I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I think it's like he's pushing them away. And like, that's the thing too, that I liked about these John Hughes movies is like, there is like a young naivete about the kids. Like you still see them as teens, like, even though, you know, they're clearly in their 20s, late 20s, but like there's a teen optimism that's still in the writing and in the performance, but also like the heaviness and the emotional weight that truly is teenagers. They are dealing with these things. Like, you know, they weren't just like brace faces with like no opinions, no feelings. And it's interesting I don't think you see it that much with movies like that anymore. And again, this is like a really like general and broad sort of movie, but they've tackled, was there 5 of them?
Yeah. Here's
Yeah,
a
there's
question
5.
for you.
Like they navigated 5 storylines. And like everyone sort of went from A to B.
But yeah, you're right. And those were probably 5 of the most major tropes that were actually in existence at the time in high school.
And still are, I'm sure. Like, I mean, I even had them in high school.
What do you think? What do you think if they were like to redo this now?
I don't think they could
How would
redo
it
it.
differ?
I don't think they could redo it now. But like, I mean, even in my high school, which was like many moons ago, but it's like, yeah, there's the popular kids, there's like the nerds, there's the tech heads. Like we had a place in our high school called like the tech wing, and we were like, ew, the tech wing. Like it was just like, that's where everyone
Anthony
smokes.
Michael Hall.
Yeah, we had like the burnouts on the hill. We had like, you have all those people. I was lucky enough to just be in the forgotten group. I think we all just sort of floated, my crew, but like.
But here's the one thing that threw me off a little bit because their high school, I mean, massive library. The place is huge or whatever, and they don't even know. Like they're trying to figure out like it's like Los Angeles. What freeway do you take to get back to the library? At one point, I was like,
"Oh my god, what a freaking!"
No, but what I'm saying is like, my high school was a pretty large high school, but you knew at least within a grade or so, you knew everybody's. Like when someone goes, "You ever heard of them?" and they're like, "No," I was like, this is high school. You kind of know everybody.
I didn't know everybody.
Knew each other or even saw each other during the day, except for Claire and John. That were like, we're Claire and John. We're a part of the cool group. But I'm like, you know who they are. They didn't even know each other's names. They were like, they introduced themselves off the top. And
no,
I
don't believe that because you have grades 9 to 12.
Sure, but do you think these guys were all in the same grade in this?
No. I think Anthony Michael Hall was younger.
I don't even know. You know what? I don't even think Ali Sheedy went to the school.
She did go to the school.
How do you know?
Okay, can I just tell you one of my pet peeves? When people watch movies and TV shows and then we have to watch like interviews or like follow-ups where they're like, where do you think those characters are now? I'm like, they're not real.
Oh no, I don't want to know that. I hate
or
that
like
stuff.
or like conspiracies of like, hey, do you think maybe she didn't even go to the school? It's like, she didn't go to the school. It's in the movie. She went to the school. I can't hypothesize that maybe that was a point.
I don't know, but I only thought about it right now, and I think that's kind of funny because she does.
Kendra says, I saw people walk across the stage at graduation that I had never seen. She graduated with 900 other kids. I could say at my high school graduation, like I pretty much knew everyone. Yeah, thank you, Ashley. Jay, she went to school. Thank you, Ashley. Do you understand how frustrating this is? We have Mr. Conspiracy Theory here over a fake character.
Oh yeah, but wait, Bonnie, if she didn't go to the school, they'd say that.
Yeah.
But what happens in the movie is they're like, "What are you here for?" And she's like, well, she tells them, she's like, "I'm here because
she just wanted
better to do."
She had nothing better to do.
None of them know her from school, and even the vice principal never. He just goes. She kind of like looks away the whole time as if she's hiding.
I can't.
He never
with this.
mentions her name or anything.
No.
So if you watch it back and watch it through that lens, I bet you could.
I refuse to even put that lens. I'm breaking the lens and throwing it into the trash.
I'm not. This is like not a hill I'm going to die on because I didn't care until like 5 seconds ago about this.
She would have said
if you watched it, you could say.
Bodding's right. She said that she would have said, "I don't even go to this school." Thank you.
Mm. That was a deleted scene. I watched it.
I don't even go. She doesn't even go here for Mean Girls.
Thanks, Bodding.
Bodding says, "I love Jay's commitment to this. I really respect it." Absolutely,
because I don't believe it either. I'm just saying, like,
cool.
That's how fun her character was. Like, it was like that line of like, I didn't even need to come here today. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, she doesn't even go to the school. Is from Mean Girls, and it's a call out to the Breakfast Club. Jan, this is how loved you are, Jason. Absolutely not. No, Danny DeVito, I love you. Yeah, no, I really liked this movie. It's just nice. It's what I want from like an easy breezy lemon squeezy delight.
There's stuff in these movies that don't necessarily hold up, but like Ferris Bueller was fun to watch. This was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing was fun to watch.
You didn't like it.
No, I did.
No, I don't think
I think Dirty Dancing is a bit of a different genre than these two, and
of course,
it obviously is. But like, the word "fun" doesn't come to mind when I start watching Dirty Dancing, like it does with like Ferris Bueller and Breakfast Club.
Because you like pranks and capers. Like, I feel like you'd love to watch. Like,
I love montages. Like, I know there's
Love
montages in Dirty Dancing, but the montages are about like those.
Love.
I had about
Sex.
Patrick Swayze and them Dirty Dancing, where it's like the montages in this are them like parade dancing or dancing in the library and that kind of stuff, where you're just like, I feel like I could get up and dance right now too. Fun times.
Jameson Kramer says, same high school, they say, as Ferris.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club.
Oh, is it? It was it began in 1984. Filming took place at Maine North. You're right, Maine North High School in Des Plaines, Illinois, which was closed in 1981. The same setting was used for the interiors of Hughes' 86 film Ferris Bueller's Days Off, which used a different exterior shots. But yeah, you're right.
Sorry, Berger just stood up and started sneezing like a human man. Can you hear him? You okay?
No.
Come here. Are you all right? Judi Dench. These dogs are nuts today. What?
During a cast reunion in honor of the film's 25th anniversary, Ali Sheedy revealed that a director's cut existed, but Hughes' widow did not disclose any details concerning its whereabouts.
Whoa.
I wonder if that'll ever come out.
Maybe it revealed that she didn't even go there. All right, friends, listen, we have come to the end of our podcast. Well, I guess it's more
our
than
damn
that.
minds.
We've lost our minds. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening to this, listen, you can watch it as well. You hear the same old now all of the time. YouTube.com/theregulars. We go live weekdays at 12:30 Eastern time. So you should come join and have a good time there. And follow us at The Regulars Podcast on Instagram. And you can join in on, all of my pop culture insanities and then give us your 2 cents on the movie. Also, let's start thinking about the next movie because we really just jumped into The Breakfast Club. I hope people had a good time watching it. But let's get the voting in throughout the week.
Let's get some thinking. Yes.
Let's get some thinking.
And let's just make sure that it's on Netflix in the States. That'd be great too.
That's something you can do on your end as
I will
well.
do it for sure.
Yeah, we can only do what we can in Canada. You got to do your part as well in the US. And that is, just a global message as well. I don't know what that means. Any hoosies. All right. So is there anything else that we have to say?
Well, this upcoming week, we will hopefully have some surprising guests. Mr. Casual Friday will still be here.
Yep.
And thanks for everybody for taking that journey with us last Friday.
Last Friday was such a trip. I had to take a nap. Oh my God. Oh, Haley says, haha, subtle dig. For me? Oh God, no. I just learned the word global. Yeah, that was a really funny episode. And thank you for everyone who's watching and helping us grow the community. Listen, if you had a good time, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've just gone full YouTuber, but here we are. And this is what we do now. So if you've been watching, subscribe. And if you liked it. It just helps people on the old platform find us out and tell a friend maybe.
Love it.
So everyone have a lovely Monday. We will see you tomorrow. 'Wash your hands. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye everybody.